Welcome back to another episode of Chats with Clark. I'm your host, Joe Clark. And here at Chats with Clark, we get straight to the point. And the point today is the good old Cal Reynolds, whose alter ego is Cal Will Cook It. Cal, how are you doing? Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm doing well. It's a great day. No complaints. How you
No
doing?
complaints. I'm great. Yeah, I'm great. So Cal, you're like a viral chef, bro. So tell us about that. How did you get to be a viral chef of all things? That's awesome.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'd say a lot of it's luck.
Okay.
Like on social media, no matter what, whatever you're trying to push or influence, first of all, obviously it's got to be like somewhat of attractive. Like people have to actually want to engage with it, share it, like it, save it. But also too, you just got to have the right people see it and get lucky, So I started doing this like for fun. I guess what should I do to start from day one? How it all
Go
that's
for it.
usually what I do. That's
Absolutely.
usually how it goes when I do a podcast. I just start from day one. So
Dude, start from day one.
long story short, I got into I always liked food, always liked cooking, stuff like that, watching the food channel growing up. I was a super fat kid, love to eat. I still to this day, I still like to eat more than I like cooking. People don't get that. Like I would rather eat out at a restaurant 9 times out of 10 before cooking at home. Like I
That's so
prefer
funny.
I know, I'm pretty good at cooking, but it's so much better when you don't have to do the work. But yeah, anyways, I was always into food, always into cooking. And when I transferred out, because I went to Gainesville University my freshman year of college, obviously we had a cafeteria and stuff like that. But when I transferred home from there is when I really started taking pictures of the food I cook and stuff like that. But I never had a page or anything.
Yeah.
But I started actually cooking in high school because that's when I started meal prepping for myself and getting into fitness and health and realizing nutrition and the way I have to eat. And I wasn't raised in a family that paid attention to that kind of stuff. So I'd have to go out on my own to get certain groceries, meal prep for myself. So that's really how I got into the actual basics of cooking. But then I started getting more creative with it as I got older. And fast forward when I got to John Carroll my junior year, people all the time are like, dude, you should make a food Instagram. I'm like, no, I ain't doing that. Blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
finally, me and my roommates and stuff, they convinced me. I was like, all right, screw it, I'll do it. And I made one just for fun, And then it wasn't something I took too serious. I still don't take it. I should probably take it more serious now. That's on my goal list for this year and the rest, in the future. But
I love
but
how
yeah,
real that is.
oh yeah, it's I still treat it like a hobby. I should be probably treating it more like a part-time job, let's say. It is a part-time job. But yeah, and I made the food page and I didn't think much of it. Just started slowly growing. And then after I'd say once I finished my football career at John Carroll, when I had more time to invest in it, take it a little more serious, is when I actually started to grow a following.
Mm-hmm.
And just a couple thousand followers, nothing crazy. But then when COVID hit, which is where a lot of people actually grew their followings on social medias, regardless of if you just look at the statistics, whether
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
cooking, fitness, motivational speed, all aspects. Because COVID, everybody was on their phones, everyone was at home. So that was my window of opportunity, but I was a little late to the party. But yeah, I just started posting more. I got more consistent. I'd say last summer was when I really started growing a following, probably around August, September. So late summer, early fall. And yeah, dude, just posting food that I like to eat and enjoy cooking. And
Yeah,
that's, I'm just still today, that's all I do. Just, chipping away at it,
absolutely.
just taking pictures of food I think that looks good and throwing that shit on social media and hoping for the
Yeah,
best.
100%. Who taught you how to cook? Did you just kind of mess around with food and then eventually something clicks, or how do you have that eye, or for lack of a better word, that eye?
So I'll say, I'm not trying to brag, but I'd say I'm self-taught.
Okay.
I learned just from watching YouTube and the food channel. I was always into that kind of stuff. I loved watching my parents cook when I was a kid, my
Okay.
grandparents. I was always in the kitchen, curious to see how they do things. And I'm just a quick learner naturally, and things I enjoy. Now, if it's something like we were talking before we even started, so technology and shit like that, take me hours to lock in and focus.
Okay.
But when it comes to things I'm into, football is always a quick learner, cooking, working out, exercise. Like if I'm reading a book I'm interested in, I'll pick everything up pretty quick. Just any little tedious task that I'm interested in, I can pick it up pretty quick.
Okay.
And cooking was one of those things for me. It just clicked really easy for me.
Awesome. That makes it easier because then you can expand quicker too. Like you don't have to
Exactly.
focus on
Yeah.
learning the craft. Like you got the craft like that. So then you can just progress into, oh, I can cook this and I can cook this and that and just keep going.
Yeah. It's really just a snowball effect, man. Just keep rolling with it and just keep trying to get bigger and bigger.
It is, absolutely. Do you find now that you have like favorite things that you like to cook, or is it kind of all over the place for you?
It's kind of all over the place. And
Is
that's
it
kind of one thing about my page that drives me nuts, because like part of me tries to promote a healthy lifestyle and then another part of me will post something that's 20,000 calories. So it's just
okay?
like the balance is kind of off, because I do enjoy eating a wide variety. But in terms of like what I enjoy to actually cook, although I don't do it much because it just takes more time, like I prefer grilling over everything, nice
Okay.
steak or
Yeah.
smoking meats or something like that. You know, nothing, it makes me feel, like a real man when I'm
Yeah. A
on,
tough guy.
behind
Yeah,
the flames,
absolutely.
like a tough guy when I'm behind the flames, with the meats.
Takes you back to the football days. Just you're ready to hit somebody. Like I want to hit someone.
Yeah. Yeah. So grilling's definitely my favorite style of cooking, I'd say.
Okay. Yeah. Because I've seen like steaks on your page and man, it just looks awesome. But then I've also seen like breakfast stuff. So definitely all over this place.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's humans. Like it's not like we eat one thing. So that's
No,
cool. Like,
exactly.
you know what I mean? I mean, Gordon
But
Ramsay and stuff like that. He posts a million things.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I think that's a good thing about me. It's good and bad. It's good because it shows I'm versatile, like I have a variety of the way I eat and things I eat. But also too, it's kind of harder to grow a following if you don't have a specific niche. So yeah,
Right.
mine is cooking, but like some people, a lot of the food influencers you'll see it's like a one style of cooking. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So like
absolutely.
somebody will do only healthy stuff or only healthy food. Somebody will do like strictly grilling or strictly macro friendly meals. Like where I do, it's all over the place. So down the road, I have it in my plans to like try to narrow it down in the categories. I'm still gonna have a variety, but I want to make it more categorized, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think like on TikTok and stuff, you can streamline it into, I mean, like
You
on
can
YouTube and
now. I got to
playlists
do
and
that.
things.
Yeah, I got to do
That'd be
that.
huge. Yeah. Because that
And I got to
allows
get on
someone like
YouTube.
you. Yeah, there you go. YouTube's great. And like someone like you has a pretty gregarious, outgoing personality who can do all the different foods and make it appealing and entertain the audience. That's a huge advantage for you because then you
Appreciate
don't
that,
have to
man.
just
I'm trying.
streamline. No, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of in that vein, Cal, how did the kind of like I said earlier, the alter ego of Cal will cook it come about? Because that's catchy. That's really
The
good.
name?
Yes.
Oh, well, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. So that year, when I first made my page, I lived on Traymore,
Okay.
and I called it Taste of Traymore,
That's awesome.
and that was for like 6 months, and then I was moving out of that house. I'm like, oh, I got to change the name. I don't live on Traymore anymore. And me and my some of my boys were watching the Nelk Boys, and
Yeah.
like Steve will do it, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll make my name CalWillCookIt,
Oh my God.
and that's
That's
how it started.
ingenious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Steve will do it if I ever meet him or come across him. Got to give him a
Absolutely.
shout out.
When this is uploaded, I will be sure to share it with him and I'll just let him know that he had a direct
But it
influence
also
on
fits too, though, because when I was like a kid and stuff, like anytime we had food around or something, my mom would be like, "Cal will cook it." So like, so it fits both ways. It
yes.
works, but so that's what I say. It works both ways. Steve had an influence on me. So did my parents growing up.
Perfect. And now you can influence everyone else. So it works out really well.
Mhm.
And Cal will cook it.
I know. Maybe I should be like, "Cal will cook it, and you can cook it too." Something
There
like
you
that.
go. See, like there's so much you can do with it. And when you're on YouTube, there's your clothes. Like
Because
you
anyone could
just
cook,
with it.
you know.
Yeah, but the question is, can people do it and make it look good and taste good?
I think they're capable of it. If I
Yeah,
could do it, they could do it, man. Trust me.
really. Do you think
Patience.
it's
You
that
just have
like
patience.
okay?
I don't think it's no. Were you gonna ask? Is it that easy?
Yeah, like because you kind of just dumbed it down to the point
I think
where
it's just
anyone can do
following
it.
directions, really. If you just
Okay,
follow directions, you can figure it out. It's not like you need a crazy physical skills or you have to be in crazy shape or have some. I think it's just patience and having the discipline to follow directions.
awesome. Do
Now
you
the
look?
creativity side is something you got to develop on your own. Like I don't like, and that's one of the things I feel bad for people because they always ask me like, "Oh, what are the measurements for that or what are the macros on that and stuff," and I just don't know because I just freeball 95% of what I make. Like I just go in there with what I got and try to make something happen.
Yeah, a lot of people count on that stuff, and it's so hard. But I get what
I
you're saying.
know,
Like,
and I feel bad because I don't have the answer.
no, right, and like a lot of people too. Then like us, it sounds like I'm the same way. Like if I eat something, like I know generally speaking, like what's healthy and what's not. And that'll do the
Yeah,
trick. Like I don't know, I know spinach is healthy and that like fatty foods are not. You know what I mean? And then all right, I had a pretty healthy meal. It's like, all right, maybe maybe my next meal should be healthier. So
yeah, and that's something I'm trying to slowly start. Like, I mean, I've done a good job probably from like December of starting to get more of a. I can see it. Like you can see your audiences on TikTok and stuff like
mhm.
switching, and I'm starting to get a ton of more like fitness and like health inspired followers rather than when it was
Interesting.
all just strictly food. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's pretty cool, and I'm glad it's making that shift because I want it to be like both, food and health and fitness.
right. And since you kind of opened that door, Cal, something I know too that you're aspiring to do is that fitness side, right? Like you said, you want to do some personal training. I know that, and then also like if you look at your page, people know, especially your Instagram, like you have stuff with your supplements and you working out and kind of your workout routines and things like that. What is your vision for that? How do you plan to turn Cal will cook it into Cal will be fit too or whatever?
So I mean, fitness was always came first before the cooking in terms of like my passion and what I wanted to do in my life. Like I always knew I
Cool.
wanted to be like cooking is more of just a hobby. Cooking was a byproduct of my fitness, is what I like to say. So like I had to learn how to cook because I wanted to be more physically fit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because you have to eat
Yeah.
healthier and you have to know how to prepare your own food and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I'm already in a good. I feel like I'm in a good position. Already transitioning and like getting more of that fitness content. Obviously, I don't have nearly as much because I just started doing it. I
Mhm.
mean, it was just tough. I wanted to do it back in the day, but just with football and everything, and truthfully, just like the lack of confidence. Like I just didn't have the confidence to record myself and put myself out there. Like I had that mindset of like, oh, who am I? Like, why would I put myself out there? There's a
Totally.
million people out there better than me. I mean, you get it. You started a podcast like that. That shit's tough to just put yourself out there and put something out there and just be ready for, you know, the world to either tell you to shut the hell up or or cheer you on.
Yeah,
But
totally.
but yeah, so I'm just trying to incorporate like because that's one of the big when I post the question things on my Instagram, they're mainly all fitness questions, to be honest, which is another thing that like told me like all right, like I should probably start doing this. This is what
Yeah.
people want to know. Like because part of trying to be a social media influencer or any influences, you got to cater to what the people want it to, like while being yourself. You don't want to be a phony, but you got to
Right.
give them your authentic self and what they want to hear and what they want to know. So I always like posted stories and stuff like that. The supplement partnership was a huge push for me to get me going and give me the confidence that I needed. And so yeah, I'm just gonna slowly try to. Don't want to talk about it too much right now because I don't want to spoil all my ideas and
Of
stuff. But
course. Of course.
slowly, just gonna try to transition a lot of that following onto my. I decided to keep them separate just to keep my plan, like because I have OCD and I want my pages to look clean, so I want the food to just be mostly all food related. And then
Nice.
my other page will be mostly all fitness, motivation, lifestyle related.
Sure.
And I'll just cross them with the stories and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my goal is just to try to get my audience to push over to that too. And also even if I just grow a whole separate audience on the other one. But the
Right.
key is just I gotta be consistent with it, keep it going, just stay with it.
Yeah. That's
That's the hardest
excellent.
part is getting
And
started,
it
and
is. Yeah.
anything.
And
It's
you're
the hardest
going
part.
to. So
And I'm still in that getting started phase with the fitness stuff. So there's days I'm not gonna lie to you, like there's days I'm like, oh, like this fucking sucks.
yeah.
Sorry, sure,
No, you're
but I just keep telling myself you got to push it. Like everybody starts somewhere. I never thought in a million years I'd be posting food on Instagram for money. If you would have told me
yeah.
that when I first made my account, I would have said you're freaking nuts.
Right. Like I'm
So
not even making it. Actually, forget about
yeah, yeah.
it.
So that's what's driving me. It's like I just got to keep pushing, keep grinding, and to see where this could take me while being present and being present, enjoying the moment, and just having gratitude for where I'm at, but also not satisfied, so I can get to where I want to go.
Totally. Yeah. And I think you're seeing like a natural crossover. It makes sense to me in my head as a third party person that like people who are into food either are going to be pretty large and not care about the fitness. That's going to be one audience, or the people that are into food are going to be probably also into their fitness too. Cause it's like, oh, I
Exactly,
watch my food and I
exactly,
watch my fitness. Like, so you're either going to get one or the
exactly.
other. And then of course, like you said, you'll have original audiences too. So that's rocking.
Yeah, for sure. That's the hard part on my other one, because on the fifth one, because you know, I turned my old personal Instagram into that one because I had like 3,000 followers. So I'm like, I'm not gonna make a new Instagram.
No.
Excited. You know, I used it for the typical what kids our age use it for, posting pictures at the fucking bar or something, or on a
Right.
vacation. So I deleted it all, you know, restarted it from scratch. And so I'm rocking with it, but it's just tough because obviously, you know, a lot of like when you do something different, regardless of what it is, people are gonna not like it. You know what I mean?
No, people
Like
can't
I
do
like,
change.
yeah, exactly. Like people, like I don't know, I don't have any specific names. I just know from experience and the way the world works and how life feels. Like people are, I know people will see it and they will unfollow me right away. Like I lost a lot of followers because you know it's different. Like, oh, this guy's like, why is he posting fitness stuff now? You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
want to see that.
Cal Reynolds has
So it's,
changed. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
what?
So you know, you just got to grind through that phase and just keep pushing.
And you talked about the supplement endorsement. So how did that come to be for you? And that's a huge step. Like, so
Oh,
congratulations.
it
And
was. Thank you.
yeah.
Um, so actually, when I started getting some traction on CalWillCookIt, um, I reached out because I use that Steel supplements. I use that, by the way, anyone listening, code Cal, 10% off. Gotta get a
Nice.
little salesman. But anyway,
Totally.
um, I always use their products and stuff like that. And I was looking to see if they had any like programs or partnerships or anything like that. Because I think I had like 13,000 followers at the time. And so I reached out to them and they set up like a phone interview and everything. And
Awesome.
so at least because they turned me down at first, because
Whoa.
that's what I'm saying. Like, well, they just told me, sorry, like we're not working with anybody right now. But like, because well, you got to keep in mind, you look at my page, it's just all pictures of food. You know what I mean? So they're
Yeah.
probably thinking like, who is this guy? But
Yeah.
you know, they're awesome, man. I sat down and talked on the phone with them. I gave them my vision on like where I wanted to go with this and how I wanted to do it, and you know the fitness side of things as well. And they were all for it, you know. So I got
Nice.
partnered up with them, and things have been rocking, man. They've been going great.
Awesome. Yeah. And so anyone listening, and just so you know, Cal, too, I'll have all the links that we talk about in this podcast in the description below or in the comments, depending on where you're
Oh,
watching or
sweet.
listening. So stay tuned and look for that. So what did you say the code was for it? Cal?
Cal, CAL.
Perfect. CAL.
Yeah.
It's easy, everybody. So the code is Cal, and get you your supplements and get ready to be fit too. But
Yeah. If you have any questions about them, you can DM me, shoot me a message,
it's
and
perfect.
I'll answer them.
I love how personal it sounds. Like the fact that there was an interview and then you just kind of told them your plan. Like that.
Oh
That's a
yeah, and
lot
then we
more
talked.
personal than I thought.
Yeah. Oh, dude, trust me. I was nervous too, so I'm like, holy shit! Like they want to talk on the phone.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was cool though. They're like, now I talk to like them on the daily basis, like not even like just like they're friends, you know, like they
Right.
respond to each other's stories, like texts, like they're super cool. Everyone
That's
over there is super
awesome.
cool.
What? Yeah. Like I just kind of assumed for no reason. Like I don't know why I assumed this, but that it was just kind of like, all right, you have a lot of followers and we need endorsement. And then boom, you just work together because the numbers make sense. Like, you know what I mean? Not that it was
No,
actually like
yeah,
this
no,
cool
it's like
engagement.
they're super cool. Like, yeah, like we're always talking, shooting the shit. Actually, one of the people is supposed to be coming to Cleveland in a couple weeks, and they're gonna come to my gym and like we're gonna make content. So
No
pretty
way. That's
excited for
huge.
that.
Yes,
Yeah,
there's a little tease for everybody listening. Yep.
yeah. So that's exciting. And
We'll all be
that's
on
the
the
craziest
lookout.
thing
Yeah.
too, is because that's your reminder to all you guys, you know, just go for it. I never like I was posting food and I thought to myself, I'm like, you know, I was like, I hate paying for supplements. Like they're expensive. It's a monthly bill for me. Like I need to find a way to get rid of this, you know?
Totally. And
And
so do they cover them for you? Totally.
yeah, I get my supplements and I make money too. So it's nice. I mean, I'm not gonna talk about all the numbers, but
Hmm.
it works out for me well, you know.
No, yeah,
It's like another part-time job, you know.
totally.
That's
That's
the
what
whole
it's all about.
the social media influence is all this really just a side hustle until you can make it big enough where it can be your main hustle, you know. So I know like where I'm at, because it's a reality. Like a lot of people get on there and think they're just gonna start pulling 80K 100, like making, you know, big bucks posting on
Yes.
social, and it doesn't work that way. It takes a long time to probably get to that point, unless you, and some people do blow up quick and get lucky. Like it's not impossible, but the chances
Right.
for that to happen are slim. So you have to always like, because I'm not gonna lie, when I first like graduated, I thought for a solid like week, I'm like, maybe I could just really try to be a social media, like, you know what I'm saying?
Of
But I
course.
wasn't ready for that. Like I wasn't at that point in my life. I didn't have the confidence to put myself out there, like to talk, get in front of a camera and stuff like that. It takes a lot to get to that point. And obviously I'm comfortable with it now. The only reason I'm not in my food video camera is because the way my kitchen's set up, it'd be stupid to try to be in the video. Like it looks better, which is yeah. It's not that I don't want to, it just would look dumb.
Yeah,
But
no, and it's about the food.
yeah,
I get it.
exactly.
Yeah.
But you ever seen those TikTok? A lot of them are like talking the whole time, like
And
how
they're
we are.
holding it. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, they don't want to see my face. They want to see the food. Like,
I guess that's true. Yeah, you
yeah,
just
but that's
streamline it right there. That's perfect.
yeah. But so yeah, you have to have it's just something you got to invest in. You got to be confident. You got to be comfortable with it. So that's why I always knew like personal training was going to be my thing. And then I'll just keep doing both. I love them both. I'll keep trying to influence people and change their lives for the better through fitness, food, and motivation, lifestyle, and continue to help people physically in the real world through in-person interaction, fitness and stuff like that. But
100%.
yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
awesome.
It's crazy.
It's really good stuff. And Cal, like kind of in that vein too. So obviously you now have the supplement deal, and it's a huge reality that when the more you go, the more people are going to want to work with you. Have you thought about trying to reach out to other people, like other chefs in the industry or other personal fitness trainers, and trying to collaborate with any of
Oh,
actual people too?
yeah, for sure. I gotta freaking go out to LA because so even though I'm like kind of on the smaller side of the creator side
Okay.
in terms of the food, I mean, like to the average people who aren't creators, like they're like, oh, you got so many followers. But like when you're trying to be a creator, like that's not that much compared to people who are doing this full time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I like became friends with a lot of big creators
That's huge.
through social media. You know what I mean? That have millions of followers. So, but none of them are from Cleveland, so it's tough
No.
to link up and do something. But yeah, a lot of them that are out in LA and stuff like that, I always say if I come out there, like we can do some stuff. But it's good. I'd say the biggest plus of the whole social media gig and doing that stuff is the networking.
Okay.
It's not about trying to like become famous or something or like
Nah.
grow your name. It's about first of all like being authentic and doing what you enjoy and sharing that with people, but also like the networking. Like some of the coolest people I've ever met, I've never even met them in real life. You know what I mean?
Right.
We just shoot the shit in the DMs all the time. Like it's sweet. Like because they're not fake. They're verified human beings. And just like coming across like cool ass people, and
Yeah.
seeing them and knowing like, damn, I'm connecting with this human who lives in Texas who's super like I don't know, have you ever heard of the flexible dieting lifestyle on Instagram?
I haven't, but I'd love to hear about it. Yeah.
He's a pretty big dude. Like, and I've been following him for years, like before I even made a food Instagram. Just like
Awesome.
now, like I'm boys with him. Like we talk all the time and shoot the shit, and I think it's pretty sweet. And then there's some other few creators, like this one guy named Over the Fire Cooking gave me a shout out on his feed,
That's
and he's got
sweet.
like 1.8 million followers. And he's like super. I've been following because I was always following these people before I started doing it.
Yeah,
So
right.
like, it's just crazy, Like I went from following these people and being like fanboys to now like talking with them and shit. So I think it's pretty sweet.
It's so sweet.
That's probably the coolest thing that I got out of all this is just the connections and meeting people.
Yeah.
And
Do
shit
you
like
ever
this.
rally ideas off of them too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, thank
we
you,
do
by the
all the
way.
time. Yeah, for sure, dude. Like just so, if I never started doing that, we probably wouldn't even be having this conversation. So
Yeah, it's
it's just
interesting, huh?
it's crazy the like the byproducts of what happened when you like do something that you enjoy and the good stuff that can come out of it.
I couldn't
But
agree
yeah,
more. And as long as you're authentic like you are, man, because
yeah, and that
people
was the
see
hardest
through all
part
that fake
because
stuff.
I know because when I first started, like I like part of me was kind of fake, not fake, like trying to be somebody else, but like I wasn't being my full true self because I was too self-conscious and like worried like, oh, what if someone thinks I sound stupid the way I said that, or what if they don't like the way like just stupid shit like that. Like we're our
Yeah,
biggest enemies. Whether you want to admit it or not, like every human is their own worst enemy. You
it's
know,
true. Because you get
and
in
you
your
gotta.
head.
Oh, I still do. Like I'm still guilty of it. I've came a long way, but I'm still guilty of it. It's just because it's tough. You got to be. We're our biggest critics, whether we like accept it or not.
Mhm. And
But
I love that saying too. Like everyone, like you're the one that has to look in the mirror, and like you have to be able to look at
Yeah,
yourself in the mirror and deal with that. And whatever that is, then like that's a real perspective on it.
for sure, for sure. But yeah, so I mean, that's really it with it. Just chipping away, man. Just
Yeah.
grinding. I actually took this week. I told myself I need a week off from posting.
Nice.
I haven't posted all week because I just need to figure out. That's the one. I'd say that's the downside of the social media stuff. It does become like addicting in a way. Like you feel like pressured. Like even though there's no one telling you got to post something, but you just feel this pressure like that you got to keep posting. You got to keep creating content and it doesn't like you don't gotta burn yourself out from it. Like if you had to take
Right.
time off. Like I was like I talked to my one friend. Her name, she's really big on social. Like that's what I'm saying. Like people, her name's Miriam. She actually dates a kid I know named Omar. We went to Eds together. And dude, when I first started following her on TikTok, she had like 100K. Dude, she's got like 4 point something million now on TikTok.
Whoa.
She
That's
on
awesome.
on Instagram, she had like 12K when I followed her. She's up to like 420K on Instagram. Like, dude,
Man.
she blew up. And she just was consistent with like she has her niche, the way she posts, like all her posts are like the same like style
Yeah.
and she kills it. But I was like talking to her yesterday. Dude, she was just on Complex too. Like she's in all these big magazines,
My
Complex.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, she blew up, dude. And but I was just talking to her like because I just kind of free everything I do. I don't like when it comes to my cooking Instagram stuff, I don't like I'm a very disciplined individual in my terms of my lifestyle, like my day-to-day stuff. But for the
Okay.
food stuff, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I am very unorganized. Like I don't really plan shit out. I just kind of like I don't have like her and other food creators who like they know like because it's their job. So they on Sunday
It's
are
true.
writing out what they're making this week. They go to the grocery store and get everything they need to make their videos. They make all their videos. They edit it like where I'm just like, oh, all right, I'll record this one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll look around
Yeah.
the kitchen. I'm like, oh, this sounds good. All right, I'll make this. Like, it's very rarely where I'm gonna like plan something out. So I was asking her for advice. I'm like, so how do you go about it? We had a good conversation, and she helped me a lot because I do now that I'm getting into more endeavors, with the personal training, and there's
Mhm.
also some other side things I'm getting into in the work world, not fitness and food related that I'm trying to get into. So it's
Nice.
just I need to find a good structure, like a
Yeah.
good structure that where I can still keep doing it but not be overwhelmed with it.
You'll find that, especially like as an organized person, and the more that you do all of it, then of course you're going to find like, oh, like that doesn't work that well, and or oh, that's affecting this, and you're going to find that happy medium very, I think, very easily, even though you're going to have so much. And we all know the truth, like when you do more, you find yourself having more time too, because you have to be on
Oh,
top of it.
100%. Yeah, I was just gonna say that, man. Like when I was just like didn't like when I first graduated and didn't really have much going on. Like I found myself wasting way more time because I'm one of those people,
Yes.
like I'm one of those people, if I know I have something to do, I'm gonna do everything more efficiently and better.
Mhm.
Like even the social media posting. If I know, for example, like I have to go work, train this person at this time, and then do this at this time, I don't have 3 hours to rewatch my video for 3 hours just trying to tweak one little, you know what I mean?
No.
Like no, and that's the problem. That's what I meant by the overthinking. Like we're our own hardest critic. Because I do that sometimes. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll sit there and rewatch them for like almost 2-3 hours, like and just edit one little piece. They're like it's something where I know because I'm on social media. 98% of the people are gonna scroll right past it anyway. You know what I mean? Like they're not even gonna
Right.
notice. Like so I got to get out of my own head. I tell them, I'm like, no one's gonna fucking watch this anyway.
Right, or
Like
not
what?
like criticize it to that degree. It's so
That's
true.
what
It's
I'm
so true.
saying. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. So
Oh, that's so great though.
even with the fitness stuff, like I was so worried about it. I'm like, oh, like, do I look like an idiot? Like, are people, am I lean
Yeah.
enough? But it's like no one cares. No one gives a
Nah.
shit anyway, And
Yeah,
if
and like,
someone does, the hell with them. Like the only thing you got to worry about is yourself. Is if you think you're being positive and influencing, even if it's just one person for the better, then just do it.
yeah, and there's degrees to everything. Like, I don't know, like that's how I always like to think about it too. Like, not to like, so not to speak for you, but like of course there's always going to be people that can cook less than you and can cook more than you. Like there's just always degrees to
Oh
everything.
yeah, for
So
sure.
like why we criticize it to the nth degree is just so, it's so speaking of like you said, like our mindsets towards like, oh, I want this to be perfect, or it has to be to my perfection level before I can hopefully appease everyone else's level of whatever that perfection may be.
Yeah, and it's just crazy.
Yeah,
It
it
is
is
because
kind of crazy.
and I've came a long way, but I still get mad at myself. I'm like, why am I overthinking about this so much? Like just
Sure.
do it. And that's and I saw this one video actually, just kind of rolling off of this topic. This lady was talking about whatever you do, there's always going to be someone better than you. You know what I mean? Like I know I'm not the best cook. I didn't go to culinary school. You know what I mean? I'm no chef.
Yeah.
I just like to cook, and I happen to be not bad at it. Like,
Right.
and that's the thing. Like, but at first I used to think I had to like compete with those people, and I'm like, I don't have to compete with anybody. I just gotta be myself and post what I enjoy. Like, obviously, some people might not like it, but who cares? And that's when I started like growing more too, because we put this pressure on ourselves and like start comparing ourselves with others. Like, it doesn't work that way. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own path. But she was talking about in this video, I wish I could pull it up because I was like, when I first saw it, I watched it like every day for like 2 weeks straight.
That's awesome.
But oh, I get hooked on stuff. I have one video that I've been watching every day for like a month. It's like
That's
a little clip.
incredible.
But she was talking about like this guy. It was like a motivational thing about how like people are afraid to get into a niche or a market or like social media. We'll take the fitness, for example, for me. I'll use me as the example. So I want to start posting fitness content. I have exercise science degree, like, CPT, CNC, like I have the like credentials to get into this and do this, yet I'm still self-conscious, blah, 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 because I see all these other people who are already successful doing it. So we try to enter a market or something, and we're so worried about what everyone else is doing. Like, there's already like a million other influencers doing fitness, blah, blah, blah. Like, but at the end of the day, like she was talking about, like, it doesn't matter what you get into, there's going to be other people doing it, but what has to separate you is you. Like, they don't have the you factor, so like they don't have the Cal Reynolds yet in the fitness industry.
Right.
And that's the way you got to look at it. You know what I mean? It's your personality, your persona, like the way you carry yourself. Everybody has something a little different and unique about them that, we tend to shield and hide from others because we're, self-conscious.
Mhm.
And just breaking out of that shell and just getting to that point where you just, say, fuck all that and just realize that you are the you factor. Like, you are the you that the market needs, whatever it may be. And
Amen.
it makes it so much, more easier, yet harder because you got to work harder, but it makes it easier because you're capable of doing it and you're capable of pushing yourself to those limits to be successful.
That's really well said out of her, and of course as out of you too. And like when you hop into a market, like just like there is a market for fitness, like there's going to be a market for Cal Reynolds in anything, like whatever you interject yourself in, then now you're creating the Cal Reynolds market for cooking, for fitness. So that's just how it works. Like, just like we're not friends with everybody, we can't like appease everybody in a market too. That's just not what it's about.
Exactly. And I know because I used to be like a in high school, like that people pleaser mentality, like, got to make everyone happy. And it just doesn't work that way. You can't like limit yourself because a few people don't like what you're doing.
Yeah. No, I do for sure. And you gotta stay true. And it doesn't mean you're a jerk or anything like that. It's just like,
no, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's so tough for a lot of people, especially our age, to accept, because we're at that stage now where we're out of the high school, college drama bullshit. We're young adults, but like we're like laying the groundwork and foundation of our lives. And
that's the truth.
Most people our age are jumping right into a 9-to-5 job, salary or something like that. So when you're like going off path to do something different, kind of like what I'm doing, it does put a lot of like self pressure on you, because one, like, you might not be making as much money as your friends right away, or some people pop off right away or are making way more money than the typical 9-to-5.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all over the place, and people look at you differently because it's not the social norm.
It's not the social norm. Yeah, and I feel that for you. That's tough, man. But I'm glad that you're doing it, because you know what's going to make you happy too, and like that your heart and your head set on it. So why short yourself that, and why get stuck in a routine of doing something that you don't want to do ultimately? Like, at least not right now.
That was my biggest thing. Like, I thank myself, not myself, I thank the world, God, whoever, I think I'm just thankful every day for like just being able to be in this opportunity right now where I don't have to, be slaving away to a job I don't enjoy. And what motivated me to do that was because I was actually just having this conversation with a friend yesterday. Was like 2 summers ago, 3 summers ago. I worked it was like a physical labor warehouse job from like 6. I was there from like 8 a.m. to like 6 p.m. every day.
Dang, bro.
And it just like, And no, I didn't come. Like I showed up, I did my work. Like I'm always
Sure.
like I've always been a hard worker. Like if I have something to do, I'm gonna get it done. But every day, it's when I started listening to like entrepreneur podcasts. Like I never listened to podcasts until I started working there because I was bored, and I'm like, I don't want it. Like I saw grown men in there that just looked miserable, and I'm like, I do not want this life. Like I cannot live this life of like going to a job every day that I dislike, packing the same bullshit lunch, walking in with the same bullshit attitude. I was like, I will not ever do this again. And that was the last time I've ever worked a real job.
Was it
Like,
really? Wow. Look at
yeah,
you
because
new.
and I grinded. Yeah, I just told myself like I cannot let myself get to that position again where I need to do it to get by. Like I will always find a way from it. Like I'm in charge of my destiny. And
You
that's
are.
really when I got into that lifestyle of like the entrepreneur, because I was always a motivated individual, like hardworking, took care of my
Mhm.
business. And that just carried over from St. Ed's football, and just the way I grew up. But after that job though, I remember like I can still remember doing the work and stuff, and just I would always just tell myself like I cannot do, like this is not for me. I can't let myself get in this position. But I also tell myself too, if shit all hits the fan and I lose everything and have to start from scratch and go get a shitty job like that, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with a smile on my face and get it done until I can get out of it. Like,
It's so
because you
admirable.
always got to be prepared for the worst too.
You do, yeah. And as long as you have that kind of attitude, you are ready for the worst. Like, throw it
Exactly,
at me. I'm ready
exactly.
for it. Yeah. And
But
every
yeah, man,
challenge allows those opportunities, man, because that's a lot of tough work for a lot of hours.
yeah, just physical like labor, just a warehouse. It's just it was eye opening for me. And some people like, and it just seeing like grown men in there, it just made me think so much. I'm like, damn, like these people are really 40, 50, whatever years old, and this is what they do every day for the rest of their lives. I'm like, that is just not a life I can live. I need the
Yeah.
free, like I don't, a lot of people talk about they want tons of money or big house, fancy car. Like that stuff's all cool and all, but like I'm chasing freedom, man. Like I just want to be
Mhm.
able to do what I want, afford what I want, and live the life I want by whatever means necessary.
That's amazing. Yeah. And if you can do it doing this, great. And like you said, if it ends up being that you have to go do something else for a little bit, then you have to do that too. But you'll get there.
Exactly. You just can't give up. That's a lot of thing. A lot of people will give up on something.
Mhm.
Like the food thing for me, dude. Come on. Like I went 2 years of posting shit and had nothing. Like I just kept posting shit.
Yeah.
Like I never thought like, and dude, it's still not nearly as big as it could be. Like it has so much potential to keep growing. I just got to get more consistent with it. But just having this small taste, like this small tiny taste I have right now, this little success I have, it was enough motivation for me. Like, all right, I got to stick with this and keep it going.
It gets got to make you hungrier too. If I would imagine, like, isn't it like how that goes? Like, you get a little bit of success and you're like, oh man, like, I want to keep working harder and maximize this,
Yeah,
like, reach more
exactly,
people and like do more things and have more
exactly.
freedom. Yeah.
And that's the weird thing too, because that I tell people, I was more self conscious and like nervous and like afraid to put myself out there when I had a smaller audience. And it's like the more followers I get, the more less I care, which is it's weird because then I have
It
way
is.
more people seeing me and seeing my shit. But it's like it gives you that confidence though, because you're like, all right, like some people must think this is pretty interesting,
Right. Right.
like all right, they must think I'm not that big of a loser. Like they like what they're seeing.
And we throw
So
around that word like follower, like, and it makes me always think like of just a number. But as opposed to that, really, more often than not, of course, aside from the random bots and things like that, the
yeah,
person behind the word follower is actually a person like you and I that has blood coursing through your
yeah.
veins and things like that. That's really important to consider when you have that perspective. You're like, man, there are people that do
Oh,
support me and
dude,
enjoy
it's
this. And
awesome,
it's
dude.
it's
When I scroll
people.
through my messages, dude, and I see like some of these messages, dude, they like, because I'm not gonna lie, there's days where I'm like, I just don't feel like even going on Instagram.
Sure.
Because social media, you got two choices with social media. You're either a consumer or a creator. There's no in between. You're either sitting on there scrolling or you're on there to create and do something. And only 5% are creators. You know what I mean?
You're right.
And my
Totally.
goal is always to keep myself in that creator spectrum. But there's days, obviously, there's days where I scroll. But when I go through my DMs and like, or because there will be days where I just don't feel like it, or I'm like, is this even worth it? Like I like cooking, but I don't like it that much. Like I love it. I don't like it that much when I have to sit there and like record it. If I'm just cooking if you're at my house right now, dude, and we're just chilling cooking, and there's a camera crew, I'm gonna love the shit out of it. But when I got to sit there and do it all, sometimes it gets annoying. But
It is. But you're gonna
but
get
then
there though.
But yeah, I get
You'll
DMs,
get
dude,
there.
from people and just like the kind words and stuff. Like and it really made me realize like the impact I'm having on some people, and it makes me like hold myself to a higher standard. Like, all right, like, I'm putting myself out there, and these people think this highly of me. Like, I gotta carry myself and think this
Mhm.
highly of myself. Because
Yeah,
that's the
that's
biggest thing
nice,
too. I
man.
promote on my page is like authenticity, like in a balanced lifestyle. Like that's why the whole fitness thing's gonna be huge for me because people see like, oh damn, like he'll pound a 5,000 calorie burger and he's still in pretty good shape. And it's all about I'm trying to teach people the balancing lifestyle, like a flexible diet and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
People have
And
lost the art of moderation. I mean, like our
oh, I
parents
know.
know that moderation is key, but no one like banters about moderation in our generation.
No. And there is other I've came across a lot of other like creators and influencers who do stuff like that. And that's why I could connect with them so well because they get it. Like if you want to be a bodybuilder or a like competitor, yeah, you're gonna have to follow a strict diet to get to where you want to go. But what percentage of people are trying to be bodybuilders? You know what I mean? It's
I
not as
know.
big as you think. So most people just want to be generally fit and healthier. And those are kind of the kind of
Right.
people I want to target and help and help them achieve their goals because I want them to realize like, hey, you don't have to eat chicken, rice, and broccoli 3 times a day for 90 days straight to get in shape.
Right.
You can like use my brother for an example. He very out of shape. I hope he doesn't mind me talking. He doesn't care. He's feeling himself lately. But anyways, long story short, he started going to the gym with me and I started like he was a good project for me, before I dive into this whole personal training stuff, like, just
Totally.
working with him and helping him out. And I mean, dude, in like 8 weeks, he's down 45 pounds, just lifting 3 days a week. No
That's
cardio.
incredible.
That's what I'm saying. No cardio. Like I don't make him do cardio. We do some circuit training and stuff like that, but like no treadmill, no stair stepper,
Yeah.
only, an hour and 15 minutes, 3 days a week, and just cleaning up his diet. And he still has like, dude, we got Swenson's last week. Like he's still eating, like he's that's what I'm saying. Like he's not starving himself. And it's because, he's picked up quick on the habits of like being self-aware of what you're eating, your
Mhm.
flexible dieting. Like it's all about a balance and just being self-aware. And that's my, I think that's gonna be my biggest thing that I'm gonna be able to help preach to people. Cause being an ex super obese fat boy and and I've done it all. That's the experience I'm blessed to have. The degree and certifications mean nothing if you have no experience in life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, for sure.
And I done the whole strict dieting like in high school and stuff like that. And I remember the way it made me feel, and I felt like shit, dude. Like I was tired all the time, burnt out, and then I'd gain weight back really quick when I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna bulk up, and I'd just gain weight back so quick, lose a ton of the progress I've made. So I'm really trying to, you know, teach people about this balance between food, fitness, and life. And I do. I still party now and then. I still go out on the weekends. Like you don't have to cut every single thing out of your life. And because I did that shit, man. Like I did that where
Mhm.
I ghosted everybody, quit going, like get in touch out, like everything, cut it all out, and you're almost more miserable because it's just like you have no human connection. And you just got to find that balance. And it's tough for people. Like I'm blessed, like beyond blessed. Like my dad's friends, like, and they tell me like, dude, you're so lucky. Like you realize this stuff at a young age. Cause he goes, dude, when we were your age, like it was all about what we were doing on Friday night. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so that it means a lot to me hearing that from like older people, especially like older people who are successful. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes I get so down with it. I'm like, because I hold myself to a high standard. I'm like, why? I need to be here. I'm not there yet.
Mhm.
But like, some of these older successful people I talk to, and I don't just mean successful in terms of financial, but successful in like they're happy with the life they're
Oh
living.
yeah.
And they tell me like they're like you're very far ahead than where I was when I was my age. So like hearing stuff like that's some good reinsurance to like just stay sane, stay confident, just keep trusting the process and working hard and just being balanced. Like I saw this thing the other day, dude, on like social media is not bad if you watch the right shit.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't
You know
agree
what I
more with
mean?
you. Yeah,
But this guy was
absolutely.
talking about you see all this stuff about grinding, hustling, and like, but he was talking about how if you grind and hustle all your 20s and just grind and say you're rich when you're 30, but you had zero fun in your 20s, he goes, you'd regret it. Like he was talking because this guy, he's a millionaire and he was talking about how he was married young, he was poor like 20 through like 26. It wasn't until he was 26 till he started like making actual money and like a sustainable lifestyle with his family. But he said 20 through 26 were some of the best memories he made with his wife and friends. and he says he wouldn't change it for the world. Like, as long as you trust yourself and know the difference between enjoying yourself and not destroying your future, you can still have fun and live a, proactive lifestyle, go out, like, as long as it's just all about balance, man.
All about
That's
balance.
the biggest message I want to help people understand, is that you can still, and whatever fun may be. I'm not saying you have to go drink a part. I don't do it all the time. I'm just saying, because
No,
people ask
yeah.
me, like, do you drink, people, like, I get DMs like, do you drink alcohol? Like, do you ever drink alcohol? I'm like, yeah, I'm a human being, like, 23 years old. Yeah, I drink alcohol. It's just
But college wasn't that long ago for me.
yeah,
Like, yeah, of course.
yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, I drink alcohol. I was like, it's just all about balance, moderation. I'm not going to go out drinking 4 nights a week. I'm not going to go out every Friday, Saturday night. But, if
Right.
something's going on and I want to hang out with some friends or go out and have a few drinks, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I get it though, because there is some people, like, when I first started getting into this kind of stuff, like fitness, I did have to cut out everything, because there was no like it's hard to try to balance right away. Like, another good topic, I guess, that we could touch on real quick is like calories. So I get a ton of DMs about, do you count your calories? Like, do you measure? And I don't at all. And I'm still, but it's just because I've been doing it for so long now. I have like you were talking about earlier, like, what's healthy or not. Like, I know, like, the estimated amounts of, like, how much grams of protein I'm eating per day, the estimated amounts of carbs per day, fats, like, just because I eat pretty much the same foods every day, And that's why I try to explain to these people, like, it takes time to get there. Like, when you first start, you might have to measure and track your stuff and get a feel. But I'm like, the more you do it, the more consistent you are with it, the easier down the road it's going to be. I was like, I'm at the point now where I don't need to do that stuff, because one, I'm not competing. If you're competing for something, you have to do that stuff, because if you want to be the best, you got to do the work. But I'm not a competitor in football anymore. I'm not a bodybuilder, not a power lifter. I'd say fit athlete. And if you're not competing with something like that, you can get to the point where you don't need to measure every little detail. But some people, like you said, the whole moderation thing is not really, it's all thrown out. People just want the quick schemes, get rich quick scheme, get fit quick scheme. And I fell for that trap, dude, in college, man, thinking I was going to trade stocks and be a millionaire by the time I graduated. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way. Like,
very few people do.
Yes, very few people. And you keep like saying that throughout your different stories and your different accolades. Like, when you were talking about growing your following, not everyone's Addison Rae who danced one time and now has like 45 million followers, exactly. Whatever the heck it is. Like,
it's just a fluke.
Like, there's one Addison Rae. Like, there is one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, stuff like that doesn't happen. Or Charlie DeMillo, or however you say it.
Like,
there's two. Like, that's it. There's two. Like, that were done in an instant. Or like the fitness people, like, it takes time. Like, you don't create your body to look the same way or the way that you want it to look in overnight. Like, stuff takes, it's a process. It's the classic Rome wasn't built in a day. And people like really don't talk about that anymore, because it's all like hustle mentality until you're the one hustling. Then it's like, well, I've been doing this for 3 hours. Why am I not loaded? It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's just, patience is such a hard thing in our generation.
It is.
And I struggle with it, dude. Like, it took a lot for me yesterday after like talking with Miriam, because I was getting stressed out, dude. I'm like, I need to get my shit together. I'm like, why? I need to post more. And then after talking with her, I'm like, you know what? I was like, I just need to take the week off. Like, I'm not gonna post anything. I was like, it's not like what, is everyone gonna unfollow me because I don't post something? You know what I mean?
Know. Yeah,
like, sometimes as human beings, we're so hard on ourselves, and like, sometimes you just gotta disconnect Big Sean said in one of his songs, I love it. He said, sometimes you got to disconnect yourself to connect the dots. And that's sometimes awesome. As humans, we got to do that. We got to unplug ourselves from what we're doing every day and like look out, like you said, be a third person of your own life. And that's kind of what I've been doing this week, is just stepping out, like realizing, all right, this is what I want to get done. 2022 or 2021's already almost over. Like, these are the goals I want to accomplish before we head into the new year. But I also want to make sure my daily goals are intact, my weekly goals are intact, because I'm not a big plan, like long-term person. I'm a big, if you take care of the little things now, the long-term things will take care of themselves.
Love it.
So that's where I'm at now. But yeah, it's just so hard for humans for us as people to sometimes just be patient and understand that. Cause I know I'm guilty of it, dude. Like, it eats me alive sometimes, because we live in a world now where we have access to everything. We see everything. So you have this podcast right now. You go open your phone, you'll go see a podcast right now that has 1 million subscribers, and you're just like, it's like, sucks. I cook food and do fitness. I'll open my food page, see somebody who in my head, I'm like, oh, their stuff doesn't look as good as mine. And they'll have 500K followers. Like that's just how the world is, man. Like it is what it is. And like I said, I'm guilty. Like sometimes I let it get to me, not nearly how I used to, but it's just, you gotta just stay in your own lane and just do what you can control. Like control what you can control and just worry about yourself. If you know that you're doing the right thing and doing your best, and it'll start to flow. Like I know, like you got to be able to call yourself out though too. So I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of times where I look in the mirror and I'm like, all right, I need to stop wasting so much time doing this and do more of this, or this part of my daily routine, I'm spending way too much time on this. So like an example that I've used is like, I used to be one of those people that spent 2-3 hours at the gym. Like I can't, like 6-8 weeks ago, I switched. I'm like, I'm no longer allowed to do this. I don't play football anymore. I don't need to be here this long. I need to quit socializing because I'm a social guy.
Yeah, right. And, you go in there, it's like it's social hour. It's like happy hour.
And I'm like, exactly. I'm like, I have to be in and out of this gym under 2 hours. And then after 2 weeks of doing that, I'm like, all right, an hour and 45 minutes. And now I'm at the point where my workouts are like an hour and a half. And the craziest thing is though, I'm in better shape than I was before. My workouts, I'm getting stronger and leaner than I was.
Nice.
And they're way more efficient because I'm getting the same amount of work in. I'm just cutting out the bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's just, setting limits on yourself, you got to be able to do that. And that's the hardest thing I'd say about this whole entrepreneur, social media, stuff like that, is like, you got to have extreme discipline because you're in charge of like your life. You know what I mean?
True.
Like I almost think like if I would have got a job right away, it'd be easier because I would know, all right, I start work at 8. I'll be at work from 8 to whatever 5. Then I have from 5 to 7 to go to the gym. Then you know what I mean?
I do, yeah, because same thing, like we were saying, the more you got going, then the less time you have to blow. Dude, so I have to ask you too, because the connection seems great to me in my head, but we'll see what you think. So you can cook. You also are about to embark on all this fitness, endeavors that you have here. So why not? How about this, Cal? You open a gym that has like your restaurant, cafe, whatever you want to call it.
I already thought about it. Yeah.
Like, dude, like that seems so natural, that union.
Bro, dude, that's already been in the game plan in my mind for a long time.
100%. It sounds like, I mean, you can't, like, it sounds so natural, dude. You could have people coming there, working out, hanging out, getting some energy.
I know. Like, we can't talk about it too much. Someone might steal my ideas.
I mean, I don't think you're the first idea.
No, exactly. They have stuff out there that exists, but I have a little idea of mine that's a little different. Obviously, it's a long term down the road. Like, it costs a lot of money to get going, plus location. Like, I don't even know if it'd be feasible in Cleveland now with like the gyms and the population.
Yeah,
but no, that would be something sweet down the road. But and that's another problem of mine. I try to do too much at once, so like I start thinking about a million different things. I'm like, oh, I can do this, do that, do this. Where I got to narrow it down to like. But yeah, that would be, dude. Trust me, that's definitely crossed my mind since I was a freshman in college. I've been thinking about that. So
when you open it, you better let me know. I'll be there. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I think it'd be a sweet idea. And even if it's not my own thing too, dude, I'd love to like talk to other gyms, even local gyms. Like the gym I go to, I think they should do something like that. Have like a one-stop shop, dude.
Yes. Like the amount of people that would go in there after they worked out, buy an apple or buy a protein, like drink of some sort and leave would be astronomical.
Because most gyms have like FitWorks. I used to go to a FitWorks. They have a smoothie bar and stuff like that, snack bar.
Yeah.
Like the gym I go to now, they have like protein treats, protein shakes. But in terms of like a full-blown restaurant attached to it, that's not, there's not much of those around here. So I've always thought about that.
You ever been to Lifetime?
Yeah, in Beechwood.
Yeah, in Beechwood.
They have everything there. They have too much in there.
They have everything in there. They do. They really do. They have like that full cafe right under. It's like right under the
hair salon. They got the hair salon.
That's too much. I don't think. But like, get your hair cut and then go work out, or work out and get your hair cut. Either way, it doesn't sound.
I know, isn't it crazy, man? That place is nuts.
That place is nuts. But yeah, I was just thinking of that. Like that I feel like that's something that you would be really good at doing. And then, like I said, with your personality, you tear that up, being like an owner or something like that.
Yeah, I definitely want to own my own business one day. It's just I'm stuck between like being tied down somewhere. I want to travel. Like one of my biggest goals in life is to travel a shitload. Like I want to see everything with my own eyes. Like I have a list of things like Grand Canyon, like Yellowstone Park, Yosemite, like all around just America and then around the world, like Japan, China, freaking everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
I'm big into like, we live on this earth. We have the technology and the tools to see this earth. Like it's like I'm meant to see it all. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
why am I not taking it? Like why aren't humans trying to take full advantage of this opportunity?
Mhm.
Like we get like, think about 200 years ago from now, like they had to travel thousands of miles by a boat. Like, you know what I'm saying? It'd take you 30 years just to get to America from Europe. I could get to Europe tomorrow in 12 hours. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like why, like I feel like it's my obligation to do this. You know what I mean? So
Yes. To
traveling is
all
one
the
of my
people
biggest
before
things.
us.
Yeah. So traveling is just one of my biggest things that I want to do. And I just know if I owned my own business that it'd be tough to do, you know, because I'm also a control freak and
Okay.
I'd have to
So
be
that would
at
be
my
the
I'd have
challenge. Yeah.
but I would, you know, it's definitely something I'm thinking about. That's why like with the personal training though, I'm targeting mostly online just
Mhm.
because I want that freedom of being able to work from wherever, you know, if I have to go to a client, you know, that's out of state or something, because I want to get into athletes and you know, professional athletes, stuff like that.
Sure.
So I got to be able to travel.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, dude.
Dude, take advantage of that though. Like you're cooking, like go with that oven guy down in Texas. Like go cook something with him. That'd be awesome.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what
I
I'm
want
saying?
to, dude.
Reach out, or
I
like
told him
out,
I got
like
to
you
come
said,
down
out in
there.
LA. Yeah, that's a great way
Yeah,
to get to travel,
that's what I'm
give
saying,
you an
dude.
excuse so that you don't feel like you're,
Exactly.
I don't know, taking too many vacations or whatever you might mentally think. And then put some stuff out there, work with people, collab, learn, grow, experience the world. That'd be sweet.
Exactly, man. That's what it's all about, dude. And that's the thing. It's just branching out and just like, you know, recycling back to what we talked about. That's the beauty of social media. It could be because you see, I don't know if you ever see on social media, there's always like debates like, oh, would the world be better without it? Like, you know, social media is
Always.
terrible for us. And it's like, I get both sides of the story,
Totally.
but it's totally up to the individual who's holding the phone or a computer or
Moderation.
whatever it is. Like, there's good stuff out there. Like, there's good things that can come from it. Like, I am blessed like with what happened with me with social media and stuff like that. So, and just the connections I made and the people I've came across and the brands I've came across and working with awesome people. And it's just the beginning. Like I'm just getting started. That's the thing too, is I really know I could take this to a whole new level. Like in the grand scheme of things, like because I, you know, take a step back and like, all I do is post pictures and videos of food. Like that's nothing. That's
Mhm.
2% of the whole me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
That's 2% of what I could, of the full 100% I could be doing. So I'm just getting started. And that's why I'm excited, you know, to keep pushing forward and building my game plan, my structure, and just keep taking action. And that's what it's all about, just taking action and just learning along the way. Because that's where most people fumble is because they're afraid to even take the first step and whatever it is. That
True.
was me with fitness. I waited. I mean, you can't go back in time. You can't, you know, get mad at yourself. But I will solely say I waited way too long than I should have. Like if I could go back in time, but I wouldn't though, because then I'm like one of those philosophical people that like I wouldn't be exactly who I am in this moment if I were to go back in time.
Yeah, it
So
would change
I
like the
wouldn't
butterfly effect.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would change everything. Yeah, but I wouldn't actually go back in time. But if I were to go back in time, I would have just started fitness and food at the same time and just had it all in one.
And let it go. Yeah, it's like this is a package deal here. So now people are
Yeah,
going to pick up that it's a package deal, but you're saying they
yeah.
would have known from the
So
beginning.
now it's just a little delayed, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? But it
That's all
is
right
what it
though.
is. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, I'm just
right.
building off of it. It is what
That's
it
it.
is. And the cool thing about my fitness too is it's much more than just fitness. Like I'm making it more of like a lifestyle and motivation. Like I'm not just gonna post workouts or pictures of me flexing. Like I'm not about that. You know, it's
Sure.
more about trying to influence people. Like just a few, because I only got like 20 posts so far, but like most of the captions don't even talk about fitness. It's more just overall life. But like my outlet of motivation and my outlet of hard work comes through my fitness. You know, just like I'm not one of those fitness people that say you have to be in a gym or something. If your idea of fitness is, you know, hiking mountains, go fucking hike mountains and be the best at it. Like go do that
Yeah.
shit. Like, I think that's awesome. I'm not one of those people that's telling you you have to lift weights or have to do this to be
Mhm.
physically fit and be mentally happy. I'm just trying to promote activity, like challenging yourself. So how I do promote my health and challenge myself and clarity mentally is through a weight room. But that's not what I'm saying everyone else has to do. I'm
Right.
just saying that's just my way of expressing that. So I want to get that across to people that, you know, it's much more than just a gym. It's much more than pump and iron. You know, if you want to be a swimmer, like go swim, because I'm getting more into that kind of stuff where I'm trying to like train everything. Like I want to be able to do, because we never, in football, it's always about strength, like
Strength and
athletics,
agility. Yeah,
and
100%.
I still enjoy that stuff and I still train that way. But like now I'm doing a lot of body weight stuff. Like I'm trying to get into calisthenics, like tons of pull ups. Like I want to be able, like I've never done a muscle up before. So like that's one of my goals right now is like I want to be able to do a freaking muscle up.
That'd be sweet.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get there. It's tough.
That'll go viral
But
for you too when you do that.
we'll see. But
I'm just kidding.
right. But yeah, man, it's just taking that first step and just going for it, dude. It's like you with the podcast, man. Like when I'm on a podcast, because it's like I told you, like the fifth one I've done, like I get so pumped up just because I know how much of a risk it is for you, like as the individual. Like
Thank you.
you're literally one day just said, fuck it, like I want to have great conversations with people. I'm gonna try to connect with other people who I think I could have a great conversation with, and I'm gonna record that shit and I'm gonna put it on the internet for people to listen to and see. Like that takes a lot, dude. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Most people aren't able to have a real conversation unless they're behind closed doors. Like I couldn't have this 3 years ago. If you tried to have this conversation with me, I don't think we would have been able to do it if you were recording me, because I think it would have been
That's
weird.
wild.
Well, yeah, because I would be like so concerned with what I'm going to say or what I'm going to do or how I said something.
Sure.
But so because I've always wanted to start a podcast, so it's just dope to me that you're even doing this, man. It's fucking awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's one of those things where you're right. You do have to get over yourself a little bit. Like you have to get over how you sound recorded, and you have to get over or get comfortable and just recognize that like that's you. Like reaching out to people. I DM'd you on Instagram. I'm like, hey, bro, like how about hopping on? And there've been plenty of people that I've asked, and they're like, nah, like it's not my thing or whatever. And then plenty of people that just never get back to you, and then plenty of people that take you up on it. So
yeah,
it's all growing, and
that's the same thing with me.
So.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like I reach out to brands, some of them ghost me, dude. I'll get left on red.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is what it is. It's all about reaching out. But the supplements is what gave me the confidence to do that. Because I'm like, oh, all right, if I could, get a good partnership with a big supplement company, I was like, some of the brands, like I've been trying to get Kodiak Cakes to partner with me forever, dude, but they're just not coming through.
Yeah, they're dragging their feet. They're not on the wave yet.
No. Well, I don't think they do partnerships yet, like through like social media. But like, because I always use their products,
So when they
that's
do,
that's just an example of one like I've been trying to get.
For sure.
But yeah, dude, just I don't know what else you got for me, dude.
Well, I was gonna ask you.
We're having a great conversation, so go ahead.
I know it is. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's always good to hear just kind of your thoughts and all that sort of thing. And I love that you're doing like the whole picture, because so often it is like we've talked about, maybe strictly a strict diet and such regimen, and people feel like they can use their regimen and their schedule and all these things and just how strictly they're approaching their fitness and their lifestyle as justification for the fact that like, dude, like quit hiding it, you're miserable. Like everyone sees it, you are miserable, but you hide it behind this notion of, well, I never go out, I never party, I never drink, I never eat a food over whatever amount of grams of fat and stuff like that. Like just be human, and that's what's cool about your
that's the biggest thing, bro.
Just be human.
Dude, there's 7-8 billion of us. Like at the end of the day, who the fuck gives a shit, dude? That's my biggest thing. One of my biggest quotes I tell myself every day when I start like feeling discouraged, I'm like, I'm gonna die anyway. Like, why am I worried about this? Like, why am I worried about what someone's gonna think of this? I'm gonna die anyway. So is he. So is she. Like, why do we get so self-conscious and caught up in what other people think or say? Like at the end of the day, there was billions of people before us, and there's gonna be billions of people after us. There's no proven facts of what's gonna happen after we die. Like no one knows. We all have our own different religious beliefs, but no one truly knows. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, why not just be present, enjoy where you're at, and just make the most of it? And it's such a simple concept to grasp, but it's so hard for people to follow.
It is, because then also the humanity comes in where it's like, man, I gotta do X, Y, or Z. But you hit the nail on the head. Like, right now you're here and you're doing these things, and that you can feel yourself, and that you're there and like can act and execute on things. So you have to do that, and you have to encourage yourself and others to do the same, and just to be good to people. So
exactly, just be good. Like that's the whole thing, is just being a good person, man. Just being kind, just being yourself. Like, it's all the simple rules you learn as a kid, and people just still like, even as adults, they still apply. Like, treat people the way you want to be treated. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Like, it's just all the little things like that, dude, that you learn in freaking preschool, and it still applies today. And people just, I don't know, it's tough, and we live in a crazy world, dude. And, sometimes I feel like people like us who have this perception and perspective and outlook on life, like we get looked at as like weirdos.
Right,
But
we're the
it's
weird
like,
ones.
but it's just like, all
I'm
right,
just
well,
kidding.
fuck it. I'd rather be fucking weird than an uptight asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
Like let
like,
loose a little bit. Hang on, you're okay.
yeah, it's all about the big picture, man. Balance and just enjoying the journey, but also, having a destination too. You can't just give up, like have no. And that's where the balance comes, because some people get it twisted. They think like,
Mhm.
oh, like live like you're dying, like like that phrase gets thrown, like you only live once, YOLO. And then, well, no, like, yeah, you do only live once, and you should live like you're dying, because we are dying every day. You're not getting younger.
Mhm.
But like you still gotta have goals, you still gotta have some structure, you still gotta, you gotta have a plan. And it's tough, dude. We're at the tough. I think in my lifespan, like, and I was talking to some, my dad and some other older people, and like this age is like the toughest age, dude. Because we're really building the like from 20 to like 27, dude. You're building the foundation, like the foundation of your life. Like whether I'm not saying you can't be successful older than that or younger than that, or you can't fail. Like
Right.
anything can go wrong, dude. Like my dad's been through it all. Like he's living example of it. But like we're in that stage now where like we're losing friends. Like I don't know about you, not on purpose. It's just life. Like some of
It's
them
just
live in
life.
different states. Like my high school friends, they're, we were so tight in high school, all of us, like 20, 30, 40 of us, now it's, down to 5, 10, college, same
Absolutely.
thing. It's like, and it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's like, it's life. Like you got to realize like everything's temporary, people are going to come and go, jobs are going to come and go. It's just, that's why it's so important just to be present and enjoy it where you're at, but also realize like too, it could be better, but it's only going to get better if you make it better. It's not
You-
going to do it itself,
You're on it. You're on it. And Cal, you keep like echoing something that I'm huge on. I'm a big gratitude guy, and I've talked about it a plethora of times on this podcast and just in other things that I put out there. You've talked about it, like I said, but what role does gratitude kind of play in your life? Because you're really kind of saying it, and I just want to like
Yeah,
hear
I
you.
do. It's gratitude is everything, dude. It's what keeps me grounded. It keeps me committed and keeps me sane and happy. Like me and my old roommate used to have, we still do. It's just not, he doesn't live here, so we don't talk as much. We still talk a lot, but
Mhm.
like we used to talk about it all the time, just like how important it is to be present, like how important it is to like, you know, it's not the like, because some people say, oh, I'll be happy when I get this, or I'll be happy when I achieve this. And it's like, well, no, it doesn't work that way. You should be happy right now, just with what's around you, with what you're currently doing. And
Mhm.
so like every morning, dude, I don't even know when this started. Like I don't even know, probably like a year ago. But like every morning, the first thing I do when I wake up is just like, I'm like, and dude, it might sound cliche and corny. And that's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't admit this a year ago because I'd be self-conscious. Like I
Mhm.
literally wake up and I tell myself like, thank you for another. I'm like, all right, we have another day. Like I'm thankful for this day. Like it's gonna be a great fucking day. Like I tell myself it's gonna be a great
Yeah.
fucking day. Like, and I don't even know what's going on that day. I don't know.
No.
Like I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of have an idea of what I have scheduled. But I'm like, it's gonna be a great fucking day. Like I'm gonna make this day great. Like I'm alive. I'm breathing. I literally tell myself that. I literally like 4:30 a.m. when that alarm goes off, I'm telling myself, my dog, I have a dog now. Like I pet him. I'm like, dude, we're gonna dominate today. Like let's fucking
Like
go.
this is it.
Like
Like let's get after it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I treat every day, and I just have that gratitude because, dude, I feel like I've said this 100 times, like because I'm guilty, because I'm a human, dude, and I own up to my flaws now. Like I used to try to hide it and mask it, like I'm
Mhm.
some like perfect individual. Like no, I'm a fucking human like everybody else.
Mhm.
And there's days where I'm not gonna lie, like I neglect my gratitude, like not in the morning, but like I'll like later on I'll get down because I start the comparisons. I'll see something that I don't like, or that I think I should be doing better, or getting stuff kind. And then I just gotta keep reminding myself, like I'm here. I'm like, I live a beautiful life. I've been in. I'm not gonna bounce back. We've been talking for a while, but like a lot of my childhood was shitty. Like a lot of parts of it were really bad, like really bad. So
Mhm.
I'm in a position now, like I'm like, what? I have nothing to complain about. Like nothing to complain about. It can only get better if I make it better. It can only get worse if I make it worse. And gratitude is just, I think gratitude is the biggest thing for me in my like current journey of life. And I
Yeah.
think it should be the biggest thing in everyone's journey of life, because
Amen to that.
if you can always have gratitude and be thankful for the moment that you're in, and the things you have and the people you have, and if you could be happy for that, it'll only make you a better worker because you're in a better state of mind.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? Like
Absolutely.
how are you gonna, because you ever heard like some people, they're mad, so that's why they're working hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like
kill
it's
your
athletes.
haters with success, or like
Yeah. Right.
stuff like that. I know, because I used to be like, my haters are my motive. Like, that used to be like, and that still creeps up on me. Like, sometimes, like, if I don't like the way something goes, or like someone says something, like, it does motivate me to work harder, because
Mhm.
as human beings, it's in our nature. Like, we want to be the best, and we want to like prove ourselves right and prove others wrong. But also too, I realize, like, when I'm happier though, it's like my grind is more like free flow. Like, things just click better because I'm
Mhm.
clear headed and I'm in a good state of mind. Versus if I'm negative, I start overthinking and then I start getting distracted. Yeah, I think gratitude is something that's so undervalued to
So undervalued, man.
especially people our age, because people do realize when they're older. Like my dad, for example, I'm talking about him. He's an open book, but like he shows tons of gratitude now, man. But like when we were kids, dude, he didn't show gratitude at all. Like, he's not a bad dad. I love my dad. He's like my best friend. But
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
seeing the man he is now compared to like 10 years ago, and like the way his gratitude is now, and he's doing better in life than he's ever done, like in all aspects of life, like financially, his relationships, like his relationships with his kids, with his current girlfriend, with my mom. Like, him and my mom still get along even though they're not together. Like 10 years ago they hated each other. He was in a
Right.
dark place, he was living with his parents, like, and just seeing the way like he turns life around, and his gratitude that he displays now is like, it putting me in the position I'm in now. Just just, and I take that with me. Like, it's a big example for me, just seeing, and there's tons of other people like that in my life that, Carolite teachers, Coach Finati, football coach, great guy. Like,
Mhm.
Coach Irvin said that it's just endless people who just show like that. They remind me, like, you, your financial, because we're in such a money hungry world, like, that we base so much based off of financials, and like, and all the, like, yeah, we all want to make money so we can I want to travel the world. That's going to cost me money. I need to fucking make some money.
Yeah.
But like, you also got to be content with the process, and embrace the process, and realize there's still so much more to life to be grateful for than a dollar amount, or than a car or a house, or you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and that's what, because I get like that, dude. There's days where I'm like I get materialistic, and I have to like snap out. I'm like, you don't, like, just be happy with what you got. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. But it's cool that you
yeah.
know that, and like to have that awareness and
And that's the
to
thing most
value
people
it.
lack, dude. And that's what
Mhm.
we need. That's my mission. Is like, I want to help more people be aware, have more self-awareness about their life, their mindset, because that's what saved me, dude. You need. Yesterday I saw this thing. It's like, this guy was somebody who said, you need the mindset of a warrior. You need the discipline. Shit, I don't know. Just discipline of something, the habits of a monk, and the skills of an ace. And it was like, and how they all, and how all four of those things, if you have all those things, like, you're inevitably gonna accomplish what you set out to do. And like,
I've seen
it's
that. That
really,
is good. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
and
really
it's just
good.
something said, like, because like, think about it, a warrior and a monk. A warrior is meant to go kill people and like defend, and power, like ego, like
Right.
courageous. And then you have a monk who's simple. They live off of nothing, same clothes every day, sleep, meditate, and like, but you need the ultimate balance to achieve your goals and be successful. And like, and I love
100%.
that shit, because I loved how he explained it, because you take a warrior and a monk, and they're complete opposites,
Mhm.
but together, look how much stronger they are. You
Yes.
know?
Yes. Yeah. You can't have just one or the other. You need like both, and you need to recognize both and understand it. And that's
Yeah,
I don't know if you're a Star Wars guy. It's like the Star Wars thing. Like it's
dude,
the
I need to
whole,
watch them.
it's so great. Long story short, the Dark Lord guy is kind of like, look, like I know both the good and evil. That's why I'm crazy powerful. Well, then it turns out his Achilles heel is that the person that knows the good and the evil and acts on the good is his Achilles heel. So
Yeah,
it's totally like that's it. Like you need good and evil, and you need balance. You need balance. You need to
you
understand
need
it
it,
all
man.
to have that balance. Cal, that's great. Yeah, I
Yeah,
really appreciate you kind of sharing your heart and your thoughts with that
for
gratitude
sure,
there.
man, for sure.
If
It's
you
like
yeah, no, go
go
ahead,
ahead. No, you go ahead. I was just gonna say, it's just quick little story that I
please.
read all the time. It's like, have you ever seen the one thing about, it's like every one of it's like an old I don't know if it's Indian, like an old folk tale from something, but it's like
Okay.
every one of us has two wolves in us. Like, one's a bad wolf, like ego, like mean, blah blah blah, and then one's the good wolf. It's like gratitude, pride, like courageous. And the grandpa tells the kid, because, and the grandpa said, or the kid goes, well, which wolf wins? And the grandpa goes, whichever one you feed more. So
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about? Like it's
I do.
just it's that kind of thing. It's like whatever you feed yourself more, whatever you take in, whatever you watch, whatever you read, whatever you eat, all that accumulates into your daily habits and who you become as an individual.
It is. That is you. Like you're summing that up. Your work is to focus on the entire diet, from the food to the fitness to the persona that we carry and to the mindset that we live our lives in. That's what you're
Yeah.
focusing on. You, like you specifically. That's, which is rocking. It's so rocking.
I
It's
appreciate it, man. I'm trying this one day at a time. But go ahead with your
one day at a
question.
time. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you if you had kind of perhaps some closing advice or some thoughts that you would give to either the younger generation yet to come, to our generation, to people as a whole. What would you say?
All right. I think one of my AirPods died. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. Yeah. Did you hear my question?
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure. But
Okay.
one
Perfect.
piece of advice, um, lately, I think because this has been said with me, I would say one, whatever it is you want to do in life, whatever you want to do, you can make a living doing anything you want. There's a way to make money. You can do it. Whatever you want to do, just start. Just find a way. Whatever it may be, just take that first step. Like I know it's hard, whether it's fit for me, like fitness cooking, like whatever you want to be an accountant, you want to be a lawyer, doctor, whatever. Just take that first step and just keep moving forward and always be prepared to adapt because in life, not everything goes as planned. And then another thing too, which I think is the biggest one, because this kind of builds off of that, is you gotta eliminate the self-doubt and also the opinions of others who are having negative opinions because I hate like because we see it all the time. I even posted something like, oh, like who cares what other people think, like blah blah. But there is some opinions you should care what they think. Like if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
value someone as an individual and you respect that person, then yeah, their opinion should matter to you. So like value the right opinions, and if it's a negative opinion from someone if you respect that, if don't respect that person who they are as an individual, then why are you gonna let their opinion bother you? So like don't who cares what people think? Just if you know you're on the right path, whatever it may be, go for it. Just take that step and chase your dreams because like I told you, we're all gonna die anyway. So, you'd rather live a life fulfilled of doing what you enjoy and what you love and being around people you enjoy and love rather than, living a facade trying to, fit in. And then two, what was I lost my train of thought. I had something to say and then my phone buzzed and then I lost my train of thought. But that's pretty much it. Just I'd say just and I'm taking my own advice too. Like I don't want
You
the
are.
viewers or listeners to think that I have it all figured out because I don't. And that's another piece of advice. Like own your flaws, like own who you are and admit that to yourself because it makes your life so much easier when you know you're not perfect. You know you're never gonna be perfect. You know you can only strive along the way and just achieve greatness while you're pursuing that.
That's
Because
great.
being a perfectionist will kill you. I know because I used to be that way. I still am in some ways. So
Yeah.
just know you're gonna fail. Just keep getting up, keep getting after it. Just keep trying. Just do your best every day. Not every day is gonna be the best day, but every day is a great day. Just always remember that. Practice gratitude. Be thankful, and most importantly, just be a person of others. Like do don't you got to you take care of yourself by taking care of others. Like whatever
Mhm.
line of work you're in, whatever passions you're pursuing, it's always going to involve like doing goodness or doing good for others. So
It's tremendous.
yeah,
It
just
really
to
is.
really
It's where it
yeah,
all comes from. Yeah. You
that's
you're
pretty
tearing
much
it up
what I
out
got.
there, and the idea that you can do what you love and make money doing it and help other people and live a fulfilled life by encouraging yourself to get up and to get after it is everything. That's, I mean, you've encompassed the human nature and put it into a very positive, very productive, very wholesome lens. And I always
Yeah,
think about like I'm on, if I look back, or we all look back on the worst of days that we've ever had, or like the worst of days that we know other people have had, barring death, we at some point closed our eyes and woke up again. And like you're still breathing, your feet still touch the ground when you get up,
dude,
and like you
exactly.
walk around, you can wiggle your toes, and you can, like shrug your shoulders, feel your hair and your head, and you're like, I'm here. Like the blood's there, you can feel your pulse in your
Dude,
wrist.
yes, bro, yes.
It's a wild thought, but
Dude, me
it's
and my
truth.
roommate talk about that all the time. Just to wrap it up, like I've had these epiphany. I can't even say the word. What is it? Epiphany. You
Epiphany,
know the word
epiphany. Yeah,
epiphany, dude. Because I'm terrible
epiphany.
at vocabulary. But like, just looking in the mirror, like I swear this was like 4 years ago. I'm just looking in the mirror, dude, and I'm like, bro, I'm really in this bitch. Like, I'm really a human being. Like, isn't it crazy? Like, dude, you had these moments, you're just like, holy shit, like I
Oh
am really
yeah.
here. Like, that's the biggest gift of life itself, is life.
Mhm.
It's what you make of it. We're all born into different situations, and but like when you find that freedom of like realizing like you're in control to do whatever you set out to do, like the opportunities are endless, they're limitless. Like you can
They
do
are.
whatever you truly want, and live the life you want to live. It's all within reach. It's just who's willing to go grab it. Like I'll leave you with a quote I saw, or well, I saw it and kind of changed it up, made it my own, that I posted on Instagram the other day. It was like, quit waiting for the door of opportunity, or quit knocking at the door of opportunity waiting for it to open. Just kick that motherfucker in. Like,
That's
just
amazing. Yeah.
yeah, just like go in, man. Like, what are you waiting for?
Dive into it.
Go
Yes.
do it.
Embrace
Go
that
get
life.
it.
Like get after it. Right. And you're
Like
doing
we're
that, Cal, and
Yeah, I'm
you
trying,
really
man.
are.
I'm
Like
trying.
you've talked about it, you've working towards it, and we can all see that. And anyone who's listening to this that's going to go check out your page is going to dive into an awesome community that you're creating, really, of just that positive mindset of good food, of hard work, of a
I'm trying,
holistic,
man.
nice balance. Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. You get it. You get it, man. Thanks for
I
having
hope
me on
so,
here, by the
man.
way, dude. I appreciate it. This was
Dude,
awesome.
it has been amazing too. And so for everyone listening, like I mentioned earlier, all of the links that we've talked about for Cal Reynolds here, Cal Will Cook It, are going to be in the description. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll try and throw it in the description, or it'll be in the comments. YouTube's finicky with that. So, but the links will be there. Click on them, check it out. Head to Cal's pages. You will find wonderful content. It'll be his TikTok, it'll be his Instagrams, and everything that you could possibly want. Be on the lookout for his fitness information that's going to be coming out soon. We're excited to see his restaurant that is also going to be a fitness center, and all of these are wonderful things that Cal Reynolds will be up to. Cal, it's been a real absolute pleasure having you on here.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate it, dude. I had a great time.
Dude, absolutely. Yeah. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button, leave us a review, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear Cal's wonderful words. And thank you for tuning in again. This has been an episode of Chats with Clark.